Star Ocean: The Blue Sphere has finally been English translated. Hi everybody, welcome to another video. This is pretty much, I guess, is going to be a long time breaking the seal. So I found out about this game from my buddy John Houston. He randomly sent me a message, said, hey, he knew I'm a big fan of the Star Ocean series, and he told me that Star Ocean Blue Sphere had been English translated, and it's by a company called Fishy Fish Games. Make sure Fishy Face Games. Okay, hopefully I said that right because the first time. But anyways, I actually have the original game here. And I was kind of waiting for them to English translate this from years ago. It seemed like the project had got steam, and then it kind of fell apart, and then you didn't really hear anything. And a couple of years ago, they actually got a Spanish translation. So I was hoping that kind of hoping that it would get an English translation. I wasn't really sure if that was going to happen. But randomly, I got this news, and I'm just very excited. And they put it in this nice package here, just like a Game Boy Color game. And we're going to open up inside, and then I'm going to go over some of the gameplay with you guys later in the video. So let's get to it. All right, everybody. So I want to get started here. It's been a long time since I did a Breaking the Seal video, and I thought this game would actually be the perfect video to do that. So we're going to just go in here and take a look at the packaging here. And later at the end of the video, I'll also compare the original Star Ocean Blue Sphere Japanese version with this version's quality. So I didn't say this earlier in the video, but I'm pretty much a Star Ocean fanatic. I've been following the series ever since Star Ocean: The Second Story, which is pretty much my favorite game. And this being a direct sequel to that game makes this really a special event for me. So far we have the manual here, which I'll be showing in a second. We have the standee, and of course here's the game. I like how they made the game blue, kind of represent Blue Sphere. And now, very importantly, I want to show you guys the manual, how much detail Fishy Face Games put into the manual of this game. So you guys know me, I love my manuals, and this is a full color manual. And they have character profiles in here, which is great. I don't even think the original Japanese version, which I'll show in a bit, has the character portraits and everything. There's detailed maps of dungeons, tell you about the planets you'll be visiting. It's just really cool that they went out like this, man. I really appreciate what they did here. Now here's the standee that comes with it as an extra. Looks cool, but I'm probably not going to be putting my game on here. You know, if I'm done with the game or not playing it at the moment, most likely it'll go back into the box. Now here is the Japanese version of the game, which I've had for a couple years now. My original idea was hoping that somebody would translate the game, and then I could apply a patch when I play it on like an emulator or something like that, and just go through the game like that. I have a Retron 5, but that thing oh gosh, that thing crapped out on me. What a bad investment. But anyways, I won't have to worry about that anymore. But here's the manual for Japanese version. Just kind of go through it, and I mean, kind of compare it to the other one. I mean, of course it looks like it has a lot of detail, but I just think the other one, just with the character portraits, I was just sold on that. But now I'm very excited to show you some gameplay, so let's take a look. When you get to the game's title screen, if you don't push any buttons, you'll be introduced to the character report scene, which will pretty much tell you what the characters did in the previous game and what they're currently doing now. Now, if you let this sequence play out, it goes through all the characters, but it could end up being 20 minutes long. Lots of detailed information here. And from what I read so far on the character introduction scenes here, the translation looks like it went smoothly. You know, everything seems like it's in place and not really rushed. I like that this game kind of really tells you that the characters all remain friends after their battle and are pretty close with each other. Now, in the beginning here, the game starts with Priestess getting a SOS signal from Ernest, and while she's en route to go rescue him or investigate the SOS, she ends up crashing her plane. Now, fortunately, everybody is okay after the crash, but they're just a little shaken up. But I just love how this game plays out. Like, it shows how powerful the Game Boy Color really is. Now, I'm just going to let people know this as well. You'll probably get the most out of this game, too. Not that you need to play it, but if you played Star Ocean: The Second Story, it'll really help you understand this one as well. But I don't think you really need to because, like I said earlier in the video, the character introductions will kind of bring you up to speed. So just a little about the translation.
So, like you guys know, this game, people have been trying to translate this game or haven't had time or whatnot. But what I was told was that Fishy Face Games actually paid someone to translate the game for them. So that's why we have this game right now in English. So since Priestess is the main character, I believe that she'll always be in the party so far from what I've seen. So you could pick 2 additional characters to go with you in battle. Now, every character is available from the second story game except Claude, Rena, and Ernest, and I believe Opera as well. Claude, Rena, and Ernest, I'm pretty sure you'll get them later in the game, but right now they're just unavailable. Now, a little bit about the battle system in this game. Now, of course, you walk around. It's a top-down game where you walk around, you go to towns and everything like that, figure out what's going on. But the battle system is slightly different from the earlier games. It is action-oriented, but it's gone down to a 2D plane, which is totally fine with me. So here's how it goes. Usually, you go up to your enemies and attack them, but you have to be very careful because you get fatigued. And once you get fatigued, your character will be wide open for attacks. So you have to make sure you don't just go button mashing when you fight enemies.
Now, some of you guys may remember how in Star Ocean: The Second Story, how you could pummel your enemies with like crazy attacks, like if a bunch of people keep attacking it, keep it stunned, and keep going. Well, this game, of course, Game Boy Color probably can't handle that. So usually you have characters run back and forth between attacking, so it won't be too crazy on screen. Because even when 2 characters get on screen, sometimes you'll see a little flicker. Well, at least flicker while you're in battle. But for the most part, it's still very fun and entertaining. I was very impressed with what they did with this game. I actually heard that the studio, the people who made this game, they made it within a year, and they were under extreme conditions to make this game. So a lot of frustration and everything. But in the long run, man, it really seems like they made an interesting product. A sequel to Star Ocean: The Second Story is just like something that's amazing to me. I heard about this, I think, a couple years after the second game had came out. And I always had dreamed that they would probably, this game would get a translation, but unfortunately, Nintendo had moved over to the Game Boy Advance, so I don't think they were really caring about this game. And Star Ocean: The Second Story, I don't think became a greatest hits. It came close, but it didn't become a greatest hit, so they probably didn't think it was worth it, especially on the Game Boy Color system to translate it. So what I wanted to ask you guys in the comment section is what other games would you like to see translated possibly by Fishy Face Games? This is the first time I've heard of a company actually paying someone to do a translation for them so they can sell a product. So I'm pretty much thinking what else can they pay to get translated? What's worth it? Because I got to be honest with you guys. Star Ocean was probably the only game I was really excited for to get translated in English. I didn't think it would ever happen. I hoped it would happen, and now it's finally happened. It's here. So if they're watching this video, guys, let them know. Maybe they could look into some other games as well. Anyways, everyone, I will leave a link in the description where you can pick this game up from Fishy Face Games. Thanks for watching this video. Radical Reggie, and I will see you later.